good. We'll start first with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Creed. Wanted to ask you, you look at what you guys accomplished last year as an offensive line, basically 5 new guys who weren't with the team the year before, and you were able to put things together really quickly. Can you kind of point to some things that allowed you guys to play so well so quickly last season?
Yeah, definitely. The group, first of all, everybody came in with a willingness to work and a willingness to, become better together. So everybody worked really well together. Everybody worked on all their strengths, all their weaknesses and everything. And they worked for the best. So we look to continue to improve on that during this camp.
Go next to Rob Collins. Go to Rob.
Hey, Creed, you ready for dorm life again? And did you learn anything last year that might make it a little bit easier for you this time around?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I can't wait to get back up there to St. Joe and get back after it. It's a very nice facility, very nice practice fields, indoor facility, locker room, dorms are nice. So it'll be really good. This year I ended up renting a bed, so I'll have a bigger bed this time, which will be nice. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Creed, thanks for doing this. Kind of building off of Adam's question, what would you say you guys as a group want to achieve on the offensive line in terms of having continuity improve you guys for this season because of how well it went last year?
Yeah, I think everybody on the line this year, we want to be known as one of the, the most physically dominating lines in the league. We have the pieces, we have the guys that can do it. So really that's our whole outlook, is just being physical, the physicality to show through and make teams know when they're playing us that they're going to be playing a physical offensive line that finishes through the whistle, finishes plays and things like that. And we're excited to get to work about it.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Great. I know you're a big team guy, so I guess I asked this with caution a little bit, but this time last year, you're relatively unknown, especially in Kansas City, and you kind of became, in a way, a sensation, a fan favorite. I'm sure you get recognized a lot more. What's that transition been like year to year and entering this camp, knowing that a lot of people are going to know exactly who you are?
Yeah, the transition's been good. The fans here, are awesome. They're one of a kind, in Kansas City. So it's been really awesome just to get to interact with, fans and kind of see, how they support their team and stuff. It's been really cool. Offensive linemen don't get usually a ton of, recognition and stuff. And, with, the video that was put out, the Rookie of the Year thing that, the radio station put out, that was really cool. And, fans bought into it, and it was really cool to see. So, I'm really grateful for it. And that kind of proves, that Kansas City does have the best fan base. So I'm really excited about this year.
Let's go next to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Creed, I'm curious, the RPO is a big part of the game today, but it kind of limits maybe some of the aggressiveness of the offensive lineman, not knowing whether or not you can, fire out, get to that next level. Is there a balance to that? Like, maybe the game go too far towards it, and you guys were a very physical line, but maybe at times didn't have a chance to be as physical as you actually could be because you have to stay in line in case it ends up being a pass. I'm just curious your kind of thoughts on the balancing act of being aggressive, but also having that RPO threat.
Yeah, you got to balance it some, just because you can't be, downfield when the ball is thrown on those RPOs and things. But, the way we think of it, we're going to be coming off physical, and we're going to play it like we're running the ball every single time. So, you have to be a little cautious about it, but you also, you still have the freedom to fire off like you can. So, yeah, really, there's not too much of a different thought process for it whenever we do those plays.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Creed. What benefit do you get out of training camp? Can you kind of describe just the exact preparation it gives you for the season as an offensive lineman?
Yeah, last year I felt like I grew so much, throughout the playbook, and my techniques and everything through training camp, because, it's 24/7. You're thinking about football. You're working on different things, at different times in the day. So, I think it's a huge help for us, and it really helps build the continuity too of the offensive line. You're with the guys every single day for, most of the day. So, I think it's a huge help, and we're excited to get back up there and start working together again, because, you can build a lot off of training camp. So we're excited about it.
So we got 5 hands up. We'll go right down the line, starting with Todd. Go ahead, Todd.
Creed, I wanted to ask you kind of two questions. One, how much of a help was Joe Tooney just having that veteran presence next to you and adjusting last year? And when you're in training camp, how long does it take for an offensive line to gel and kind of get that continuity you'd like going into a season?
Yeah, to answer your first question, I mean, Joe's a huge help. You got a guy who's an all-pro guy that you're playing with. He helps out a lot of things. And, he was a really good mentor for me last year too. Just, trying to figure out, how to, go through that first season and things like that. He helped me out a ton. And playing by a guy like that, he's a special player. He knows exactly what he's doing. His technique's always on point. He does the right things at all times. So having Joe has been awesome this past year. And yeah, as far as getting the continuity through training camp and stuff, I mean, continuity comes with reps. So the more reps you get, the more you'll gel, the faster you will gel. So we're excited to get up there. We're excited to start working together and get after it.
Let's go next to Mick Schaefer. Go ahead, Mick.
Hey, Creed, along those same lines, speaking of mentors, you have guys like Darian Kennard in now, and you were in his position not too long ago. Curious how much you can impart on him and if he's a guy that could make an impact and contribute early on.
Yeah, Darian, he was awesome through OTAs and stuff. So getting to have him there, he's a guy who's willing to learn a lot. You can tell he loves the game. You can tell he wants to be great. So having a guy like that in the locker rooms, it's going to be really good for us. And I can help. I'm going to help him in any way I can. Just as far as me being in his shoes last year, I still remember a lot of the things that happened in rookie season and kind of things I went through. So I can, I feel like I can be a really big help to him. So I'm going to help him as much as I can. Whatever questions he has, I'm going to be able to answer for him. So, I'm excited to get to work with him.
Next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Creed, I just wanted to ask you because believe me if I'm tell me if I'm correct, but I think the one guy you did kind of know from a personality standpoint was Orlando, given that you guys were teammates obviously at Oklahoma. Given his situation right now, just how much have you talked to him? I know we've asked Pat about, what Orlando means to the offense, but from your vantage point, being with him on the offensive line, what does he mean to the group and what will it be like in terms of when he will get here and just how much he can help you guys in terms of getting those reps and those kinds of things going on?
Yeah, Orlando's a special player just like Joe is. So, I haven't really talked to him much throughout, this offseason and everything. I've been kind of giving him his own space, letting him, work through that, let him handle his business. So, whenever he shows up, I know he'll be ready to roll. He's going to be one of those guys that comes in ready. I know that. So, whenever we get him back, it'll be good. Until then, Coach Heck's got us trained up. We're going to be rolling. So whenever he comes, whenever that happens, we'll be good. So, yeah.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Creed, like Pete mentioned earlier, you got a lot of accolades last year, and a lot of them were from around the league, from other defenses. This year, you're not going to be able to sneak up on anybody. You're going to be circled by a lot of defenses. What did you do this year to know that you're going to have to make some adjustments to how teams attack you? And how are you preparing for that mentally?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. You play this game for competition, so if you're not ready for competition, then you're not ready to play this game. So, I'm excited about it. We went against some really good players last year. We get to go against a lot of really good players this year again. So it'll be a fun year for sure. I'm excited about it. I've done a lot of stuff, as far as technique work, physicality standpoint, getting my body right, making sure, I'm ready to go on all cylinders whenever we start practice and stuff. So, I'm really excited about it. And, I can't wait for the season to start up.
We'll last to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Creed, if I'm not mistaken, this year was the second straight year that you attended the Offensive Line Masterminds Summit in Frisco. Whose brain down there did you pick the most? You mentioned the competition part, but I know like all you offensive linemen get to share some notes on how to block certain players.
Yeah, so this is my third year going there and getting to, there's a lot of the guys that I've talked to before there. This year, there was, a bunch of guys that are, retired now that, are in the Hall of Fame or on their way to Hall of Fame careers. So a couple of guys that, I got to talk to a lot was really Willie Roaf, him being, a Chiefs player and everything. That was really awesome to hear from him and kind of hear from his experiences from such a ridiculous talent that he was, being able to hear from him and kind of his stories and how he approached the game. That was really cool to hear. So him, Willie Anderson was there. That was really cool. Steve Hutchinson was there. That was really cool to hear from him. So really, just a bunch of guys that, are now in the Hall of Fame, kind of on the career trajectory that I want to be able to get to at some point, are those guys, so being able to pick the brains from them, that was really cool to hear from them and kind of just see what their knowledge is and kind of understand their stories and how they got to where they were. That was really cool.
Creed, appreciate you joining us, man. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.